Greetings, this is Cat the Catster. You're watching Toy Show. This is what I got at the Toy Show. Wheelie and Warpath. Or Warpath and Wheelie. Mini Autobots from this is yeah. It's 85 and the 86 movie. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, so Toy Show. We're gonna do a commentary on shortly on the whole thing, but yes, we could not get Jim to go on. It was too short a notice, and he was busy, so couldn't get him. Couldn't get Mark's cards. Again, too short a notice. There was the Toy Show. We knew about it, but we didn't really mention it to Jim to go on until Jim Buffkin until days before, like literally. Yeah, it didn't happen. But I did go to the Toy Show and by myself. It's in the smaller hall. Wasn't in the big one, but there were a lot of stuff, booth and tables crammed in there. Yeah, so. I'm gonna do the commentary. We'll do the commentary in a moment. Not going to bore you with the just static stuff here before and after. The main crux of it was that two people, probably just mentioned that there, two people didn't want to have any pictures taken of their stuff. The first one didn't want any photographs at all, and the other one said specifically, and it's on here, well, I don't want your pictures, which is interesting, indicating they know of the Cat show and they didn't want my picture. But yes, but there was a third person that wanted to know what it was about, and so I told them. Just a YouTube blog, and it was an older guy, so he didn't really know what YouTube was. So yeah, and then it wasn't paid for advertising thing. I think part of the reason the first guy didn't want pictures is he was under the impression that somehow there was like a film crew kind of deal going on, and he wasn't involved and didn't want to be. The other guy seemed to imply, the middle guy seemed to imply that some people go around these conventions taking pictures of their stuff and then somehow extorting them into paying for the pictures that they took of them. How would that even work? Yeah, somebody runs up to your booth with a camera and they're like, okay, now I've taken the pictures with my camera, so you got to pay me because it's like product placement. It's like, no, it isn't. That's not how advertising works. I wouldn't do that anyway. Click hatch. Most of the vendors of this one were people who just had a private collection and put it up there. Cat could very well have some of his collection up there at a booth next year. So that'll be interesting at some point. But not yet at Comic-Con or Fanime. But Big Wow is the Time Tunnel toy comic thing is smaller, so I could have it at that. Wouldn't cost as much. I don't think the guest star was here. I think he canceled. It was going to be a guest star, but they decided not to show up. So it's fortunate that Cat showed up, because otherwise they wouldn't have had a VIP, in the building at all. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's my little thing on the Toy Show at the making of. I guess what this would be. Went to Eastridge afterward, and they moved Legends Comics over there into the old site of the bookstore, the old Barnes & Noble, and looking for more Squirrel Girl, which they didn't have any. I tried some evil stuff at the food court that didn't agree with me, so I had to use the restroom on the way out. But it's just Eve. It wasn't botulism though. No, that would be messed up. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I guess some people just don't. Oh, well, it's like with the artwork, they don't want their pictures taken either, because apparently there's some people that are really good with art. They could look at their artwork and steal it. Under the same auspice, it's like at a convention, at a toy show, that we could steal their idea about their booth. Same idea, I guess. But why would they bother? Like, if they're all similar collectors and they all have like stuff, which one man's trash is another man's treasure. If they have this stuff, and it's just for sale from various vendors, they're not ripping each other off because they're all selling kind of the same thing. So, yeah, if they're copying each other at all, then it's just that they got a good niche and a good idea. A lot of the Transformers ones, for instance, have a lot of the earlier ones as well. I was extensively at the booth for the guy that did the booth in the back that had a lot of Transformers. He goes on eBay and Amazon and buys lots of like the whole lots of them. It's like, oh, this is a bushel full of Transformers, or this is a bushel full of robots of various kinds, or GoBots or whatever. And, not so much Power Rangers, but Transformers mainly. And he just goes out there and says, "Okay, I've got a lot that I bought. I'm gonna go to the toy shows, and I'm gonna have a booth and get rid of some of them, like as a store." He's probably associated with the Time Tunnel people because he always has the biggest area. So Time Tunnel Toy has commissioned toys, or at least they did in the early 2000s, late 90s. And Time Tunnel, now located on Meridian, you can have your own. This is not an ad or anything. I'm not associated with. I just go there. It's not an ad, so it's not paid for. None of this is paid for. It's free. Another reason why it doesn't matter if I film the show, because I'm not asking for any money at all, and wouldn't think of it. To film, to put you on my show for free. It's free advertising. So, originally Time Tunnel Toy put up a thing. You would go into the Time Tunnel Toy and you could act like a little bit kind of like a pawn shop. And you could go into the toy show thing. You could say, okay, I want to put my toy up for sale. And they would get a certain commission from that sale if they sold it. So, yeah, you could sell your stuff. I think Tim, yeah, he did, sold some. Jim sold some. Jim Chacon sold some. Also, I think that's the same way Legends and Broadway Rocks and some of those other comic shops back in the day worked as well. It's kind of like a pawn shop. To buy, sell, and trade. So it's not just a toy show, it's a toy and trade show. So you can actually do that. It's a little like bartering. I got these. I didn't barter these. I didn't, I didn't talk them down or anything. But I did help out some of his customers looking at a big box. There was a big box for Optimus Primes. Somebody wanted a Power Master Prime complete, and I'd been in the box earlier, and I was all, yeah, he's all there. His parts just fell off. And I gave him all the parts. Also, there was a complete Predaking in there. Some other guys said, yeah, he's all in there. Whole Predaking. And you can put all the pieces together and make one. That's cool. He's a Decepticon, like, first Predacon. He's like a Decepticon. He's a bunch of animals. He's like a puma, a lion, an eagle, a bull, and a rhino. Yeah. So a couple of double dealers. He's a Decepticon car, tank, missile truck. They had ape-face Snapdragon. I almost grabbed the Snapdragon toy. He's like a little headmaster. Probably should have taken that one, but I didn't. Just because I could have found his head somewhere on eBay and then I would have his head. I don't know if all of his parts were there, so I don't know. I saw some interesting Veritex and things. But yeah, this is just a review. I'm not sure if you want to use any. I'm going to discuss. Okay, keep yawning. I was going to discuss some of this other stuff while watching the video, but here is sort of a making of. So, and the other thing will be the making of, I guess. Whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, toy show, collect, fair and show, time tunnel, associated. Yeah, we used to bought a lot of toys from them. So technically, yeah, they could be a sponsor, but they're not. Sure. And actually, one of the guys that didn't want any filming was because he was pirating and selling crap. One of the guys, not going to say who it was, but yeah, he was selling junk. So, well, the reason that's $10 is so likely it's all falling apart. It's like, really? It's like, I'm not going to buy a toy that's falling apart. Rebuild it. This other guy, I was like, okay, yeah, that's the reason you don't want anybody to film you, is they'll film your garbage toys. Trash and treasure thing again. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, your toy kind of sucks. Like, yeah, if I wanted broken G.I. Joes, or Transformers, or whatever, I would take some of my own out of the box and play with them that are broken. I wouldn't need to buy them. But yes, yes. The Marvel shirt that was a big deal a year ago when Jim and I went to these. Well, less than a year ago. It was like March. It's March. This is the shirt. This is the shirt that was going to come out when this movie came out. The Thanos the shirt here. It did eventually come out. It came out at Hot Topic. It eventually came out, and this is the official Hot Topic one. Yeah. There's also an Avengers A one. I didn't get that one. Or did I get... I think I got both of them. I think so. Yes, yeah. Okay. Toy show. Possibly next year, actual reunion, real one. That'd be awesome. Reunion of the Minions. The Minions, not all of Pine Hill, the Minions. I kept saying there's one. Jim took on years ago, March. Thought there already had been one that he'd missed, but he hadn't. The one that he was at was the 2004 one. And yeah, we were all three of us, me and John and Jim, were one point on camera together. So yeah, he was there for that. Tim was there for that. Yeah, so although I think that it was me and John and Tim, and then it was Jim later, but I guess he wanted that, but he chickened out on some. But we did interview him and stuff. And also 2014 or so, and then 2016 we brought Jim Tickon into the studio and interviewed him. It's not really a reunion though. He wants a full-on reunion with all the cast, mainly the girls. He's not going to get that. But it is possible that at some point we get it could happen. We could have a reunion. It's just that everyone's so busy. Yeah, it would be a Minions reunion. It would be cool to have Tim and Angie from the cast originally, way back in the day, and I did contact Tim. The toy show. I contacted him. He didn't answer, so I don't know. But Mark's cards. and I always have every Thursday a reunion. Yeah. But yeah. So there's your thing, your report thingy so far. Good job. Let's explain briefly the ending of this quickly. Yeah. Howard the Duck ending here. Oh yeah, we're allowed to do our Star Trek. Anyway, yeah. So Howard the Duck was Lucasfilm movie that almost put Lucas out of business. He decided to make a Howard the Duck movie in the 80s and somehow conflated it with Dirty Duck and Playboy Duck, who are two edgier, adult-oriented characters from a completely different genre. So even in my review of the Lucasfilm one years ago, I confused that. Not so much anymore. Apparently, he didn't get that Dirty Duck and Howard the Duck weren't the same thing. And he should have. They're not. And that the movie version then has all these like weird, like awkward, bestial, like duck jokes and stuff, and it's like what, huh? And you're like, and even as a teenager when it came out, I was like, why is all this in there? I get it. I've read the other comic, and and I've read, I know it's not that, but I've read the Penthouse one, Playboy one. Well, probably wasn't supposed to, but yeah, I've seen some of it. They didn't have the internet back then. It's amazing they didn't have the internet. No, it was if you wanted a magazine that was an adult magazine, you had to swipe it off of your older sibling or or whatever, and look at it. So it was this horny duck that's running around being horny. That's basically what they made the Howard the Duck movie, and it's like horny duck, okay. But it's like, okay, now I saw this magazine that was at this toy show today, and it's Playboy Duck. So Marvel apparently realized it's an old comic book. Marvel realized how they screwed it up, so they're just all, oh, okay, we'll just run with it and make Howard the Duck meet Dirty Duck, Playboy Duck, which is funny. So he basically meets the guy that screwed up the movie and killers in the same universe, just for fun, as a joke. And I didn't buy it, but yeah. Nor did I buy the Legends Comics episode of Spider-Woman is pregnant and about to deliver a baby. Didn't want that either. And I was saying that like and then there was like a bad guy in it who theorizes it's going to be evil or something. It isn't. Spoilers. And also Captain Marvel is pregnant too, and she has a baby. And it's like okay, your demographic are boys. Your demographic are young to teenage boys. They're not going to care about that kind of stuff at all. They're really not. They don't want to know where babies come from. They don't. They want to read about like superheroes kicking butt. Just saying. That's your demographic. No, if you're trying to appeal to girls, it isn't going to work either, because if you're appealing to girls in this comic book, I'm assuming it's a little farcical spoof. Probably should have bought it, but I didn't. If you're appealing to girls, you're also appealing to the same age group in demographic, slightly older in maturity, who are not going to want to read that either. Because they're going to be like, we don't want to read about somebody being a mother, expectant mother. That's like, why? Why would we want to do that? So we're not going to. We're not going to pick it up. Maybe that's why it was, on the shelf. But who is Spider-Woman anyway? Was that supposed to be Gwen Stacy? Because in one universe it's supposed to be. Yeah, or Jane or something. And didn't they do like Spider Boy and Spider Kid and all that stuff years ago? They've already done that somewhere. It's already happened before. They even did a Lois Lane and Super Baby thing years ago. And every time one of these producer guys, I'm telling you, every time one of these producer guys has a baby, they got to put it in the story. Because it's gonna be a baby. It only works if it's part of the show or the story or whatever. It doesn't work in this case just because, yeah, often that it doesn't work because of the demographic. You have your audience is not expectant mothers usually. Your audience for Marvel comic books is going to be single white men and other single men, and they're young men, and they don't care about that stuff, nor do they want to read about that stuff. Just single men in general, but usually it's white kids. The same demographic that picks up rap CDs and rap records back in the day. White or suburban kids who think they're edgy, and they want to pick up all these edgy comic books because they think they're edgy and badass and cool and whatever. They're not, but they think they are. They're actually comic book nerds, which is fine. Yeah, all of us comic nerds are over here. Yes, but Squirrel Girl is awesome. Now, there's a comic book that actually could appeal to girls, though, because it's about an empowered female superhero character, not interested in having a family, who is in college, who is a little sassy, but not over the top. Not really. I mean, they do have some jokes in there that are a little off color, but usually, yeah, this character goes about in kind of an Archie Comics kind of way, being a superhero that happens to talk to squirrels that have superpowers. Fights Doctor Doom and stuff. Fights Thanos. Yeah. And stuff. So, sure. Yeah, that comic works because that your demographic is not actually college students. Your demographic there is still like adolescent to young adult kids. And the demographic there would be, okay, this is going to appeal to girls because they're going to be, an empowering, like, this is a version of a college student. This is something to aspire to be. Yeah, aspiring to be a expectant mother, no. No, it's not going to happen. No, aspiring to be a superhero, much more interesting, much more cool. So, yeah. Oh. Yeah, we don't need to see Superman's family life or Spider-Man's family life or whatever. We don't care about that. It's not interesting. So, yeah, it had to be the director who was like, I need to have this happen because babies are awesome. Ah. It's like, no, you don't. We don't want to hear about it. It'd be like if you had a blog about the wonders of having a baby. Boring. It's interesting to you, I suppose, if you had one. but yeah. You have to be an exceptional character. Still, that's my little thing on those last two things on there, just because it was kind of confusing. And yeah, sure. Toy show, December toy show. 425 or so video, 525 videos on this channel. Yeah, and 300 on the other one, a little over 300 on the other one. And Chimera has 60 some videos, even though none of them are the actual movie yet. Who, and apparently Axonar is going to come back. We're of no relation, which means that they've probably lifted some of the bans on the fan films. Good. But yes, yes, we'll see. And those two last pictures were of character from JCPenney and then Target. They were the character from JCPenney was, strangely enough, the Delicious Baby, Bambino or whatever. Sounds like delicious baby, but probably isn't supposed to be. I think it means that the baby eats, like a baby eats doll from back in the day. But it just looked kind of frightening and zombie-like. So I sent I sent a picture of it to Mark's cards. My delicious baby. That's really weird. And then we have, of course, a llama in a box, because the llamas are in this season. Yes, everywhere. Everybody talks about llamas, even earlier. Even during the pancake thing, some kid mentioned the llamas. Are you the llamas at the Easter the Christmas play? Yeah, llamas are in at kids club as well. Sunday school teacher, which is even more ironic and strange. There are expectant mothers there, but that's not interesting, so why talk about it on a blog? But here we have Paw Patrol dog from Paw Patrol, which has been around for at least 7 years, if not 8. This Canadian show where we have this dog looking eager and excited. But I also contacted John and said the reason the little dog is that eager is because he just took a deuce. He's happy about it. He's proud of himself. It's like, I just took a dump all over the patrolman's bed. That's why I'm excited about it. And he's gonna come home and he's gonna be so happy. He's like, no, he's not. Yeah. So that's this week's adventure was the toy show. Anyway, so yeah. Paw Patrol.